Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today is a lovely Tuesday and we have a trailer to get into. So without further ado, let's watch and discuss everything about Guild Wars 2's gameplay feature trailer.
Ambassador's dispatch.
Oh, this is good. This is
Queen's
good.
eyes only. The Empire of Cantha is not what we remember. They are the most powerful nation on Tyria,
I love the
thanks to their JADE tech. And they don't trust us. We have to show them that we're on their side.
Ooh. Oh, that looks so good. Some Jade bots. Lovely Jade bots. Is that a self-res? Oh, okay. Okay. Customized Guild Hall. We love the Guild Hall. It's very beautiful. Very beautiful. New regions to explore. That was a good shot. It felt creepy.
The Aether Blades are back. Now they're planning something big in Cantha.
We have an antagonist, I should say.
If
Aether
we
Blade.
don't stop them, they'll plunge Tyria into war.
Master new elite specializations. Let's go. Mechanist, specters, blade swarms. I mean, some great stuff. Turn. Yes. Good action. Decent action. Siege turtles. Combat mount.
Everything Dragon's Watch has fought for. It all comes down to this.
Strike missions! Monumental large-scale enemies.
The secrets of the dragons. We have to uncover them all.
Story beat? Oh, there's Kate.
Before it's too late.
The future of Cantha is now. Guild Wars 2 and the Dragons. Release date? February 28th. It does appear that we will be going to the very ends of February for February 28th. Would have loved a 25th release because honestly that trailer was so nice. That was one of the better trailers, I think, for this expansion. We've had the teaser trailer now, we had the official reveal trailer, which was very CGI focused, and now we have the gameplay overview features trailer. Loved it. Really enjoyed it. Thought it had some really great moments. Now let's kind of go beat by beat and let's talk about some of the things that we saw. So the very first shot that we have in this trailer is of a fisher on his skiff, reeling in some fish. And then there seems to be an explosion of an Aether Blade ship that goes careening into Xingje Island. Yeah, this is Xingje Island, definitely. But we can, of course, tell that it's Aether Blade from the red coloring of the airship. And as we see in the trailer, the Aether Blade seem to be the driving antagonist in this expansion, which is a great answer to a huge question that I think I and many of us have had as to why are we even going to Cantha? Who are we fighting? What are we going to be doing there? And the big thing that was missing was our enemy. I know personally when we saw the reveal trailer, I was like, oh, is it June? Is June our enemy? And June might be somewhat of a shady side character that has her own interests, of course, and have that range. But I still wanted some sort of uniformed enemy similar to like the Mordrum or the Forged. It felt a little scattered in End of Dragons from the information that we've gotten. And then it continues on with Casimir, the commander, and I believe the commander, we might have a different representation of the commander this time around, because they, I believe, are in an outfit with a hairstyle that is not one that we've seen on Duncan, or I believe her name was Anja or Aja, or the Norn. And then I believe Marjorie's here as well, and the guards, and I see June, and the Detective Rama, and the Empress. Oh, and the Jade looks so nice. Oh, that Jade does look really good. It's very ornate and beautiful, and I think it's been sculpted into some fish. And we have this really nice, very almost real-world painter, sketched, drawn portrait of the Empress. It looks so very nice. I really love this. Now, why didn't we get this hairstyle as a playable character? I mean, it probably would be a little unwieldy, unfit for combat. However, it's very ornate and fun. We have a transition with June, probably in her lab with a bunch of the jade golems and the dragon jade constructs. We see this one on the ground that's kind of like quadrupedal, just kind of scurrying along with a little antenna above it, or as its head or an eyeball. It looks really nice. And I think we see a couple of the other jade constructs that we have already kind of become accustomed to. But it looks really nice. And then we have the next transition into this, honestly, masterpiece, huge set piece. Like, I want to just get into the look of this, because the header of this is Experience Kantha in a New Age. And this like jade pylon is monumental. It's so intricately and ornately sculpted. And I think there are like waves and rivets in it. And I think there's like a dragon sculpted at the top of it. And there seems to be this almost floating platform that might be holding it together. And we saw some of the architecture, and then we have a little bit of Echoval Wilds here. Really cool. And of course the jade bots. This is something I'm super interested to see more of. This is, at least when you're gliding, you can use your jade bot to interact with the other masteries of gliding. It gives you a personalized updraft, which is really cool. And I actually had never thought about that, of having something to give you an updraft while you are gliding. You always have to rely on developers and the map designers to implement these updrafts. But now with the Jade bot, it doesn't matter where you are, or if there is a map with no updrafts, you still will be able to gain a little bit of a boost, which is one of the things with the gliding is like, it's such a steady decline that you're just like, oh, if I was just a centimeter above, I would have hit the ledge. So this would be really nice for a lot of those situations. And then this goes to another area, another scene with this Jade bot doing like a healing skill, a resurrection skill on this downed Asura. And all I have to say is that this green color scheme for this beautiful healing effect, can we get that on Druid, please? I mean, it's so fitting of a ranger. That green, a Druid for some reason was a little bit more watery, a little bit more like starlight. I would have loved a little bit more nature green, you know, verdant moss aesthetic to it, but that's neither here nor there. It's just really cool, and it heals the Asura, and they get back up and can continue fighting. And then it says dynamic ways to travel, and then we see these individuals on platforms, and I think the Jade bots are right next to them. So maybe the Jade bots will activate these platforms to then go to different levels. It seems like it's on a set track. I don't think that was just like a glider. And then we have the Guild Hall, not the new here. We've seen a lot of the Guild Hall stuff. New regions to explore. We have this lovely shot of a cathedral in Echoval Wilds. I think this is like so good. This is what I was missing in the Echoval Wild stream, this very dark green, dark blue lighting to kind of paint a more gothic-y feel, and it's just so nice. And then we have this purple whale just floating in the sky. I mean, the areas in Kantha look to be very tall and very modern. It's definitely given modern vibes. I wonder if this is New Kaineng City, or if this is an area of the Jade Sea, because we did see some areas in the Jade Sea that were similar to this, but this might be New Kaineng. And then we have the Aether Blades. The Aether Blades, as the narration is going with Casimir, the Aether Blades are going to be, supposedly, from what we know, the driving antagonists in this storyline, which will be good. We know the Aether Blades. It's pretty familiar ground. Of course, we have the local enemies of Kantha, like the Naga. We'll probably run into some Rot Wallows or some, enemy factions, enemy gangs. I really wonder if the Almfal will be around in the sewers, or if the Aether Blades have taken over the sewers. But there seems to be a crashed airship here with a vista you can get to, so this might be a little bit of a heart area or some mission or dynamic event for enemy or for players to partake in. And then it continues with Anka, this really awesome cinematic shot. It was in engine. I really hope to see a lot of these cinematic aspects, but Anka just looking so menacing. They seem to be in Echoval Wilds. considering the background of the cathedral and the vines, just peering down. Scary, don't mess with Anka. And then we have my Trin, and then there seems to be this portal similar to the teaser and reveal trailer with Aurene flying next to the Aether Blades. So when is this going to happen in the story? Is this right off the bat? Is this towards the end? Did we fail? Did we succeed? Who knows? But I do want to point out the craftsmanship and the awesome looking new Aether Blade airships, I believe. They look like sea ships with giant motors on the back of them, and they look really nice. They're definitely more, it adds a sense of diversity rather than just the Lion's Arch red airships. So I like that quite a bit. And we have some my Trin here, good old my Trin. And then of course we have the exploration of the elite specializations and the showcase of the elite specs. Good old siege turtles. They seem to be walking on the ground, and there seems to be a pathway on the ocean floor, which is interesting to see if there are little bits and bobs that we'll get to explore if we don't have a siege turtle, or the siege turtle makes it so much more convenient. Next slide is what I want to get into. Oh, thrilling boss battles. This is what I want. This creature, whatever this creature is in Echowild Wilds, is this a strike mission? Is this an open world boss? Is this a dynamic event? Or is this the meta event? Who knows? But this awesome looking jade manipulated magical construct seems to be a really ornate set piece for the boss fight. And that's what I will mention, is that the boss fights that we've kind of seen here, they do have a lot of detail into the models of them, but I'm so excited to actually see what this is about. And then it continues with epic strike missions. We see my Trin. Of course, we have confirmation that my Trin will be one of the first, if not the first, strike mission boss that we fight. And we get a little bit more actual gameplay with this. We see some movement and some combat, which is nice. And then it transitions to an underwater massive creature. This like Leviathan-esque turtle. I mean, I think I'm gonna call it. We have seen this model before. I think this is an old model that was data mined upon release of Guild Wars 2. I think this would have been mentioned in like or in some other areas of the aquatic regions of Tyria, but I'm pretty sure, I would bet money that we have actually seen this model before. However, this model has never been in game. We've never actually experienced it as players. It's only ever been data mined. So I think that they are using this asset, and it's actually a pretty good asset. I thought it was really high quality. They might have brushed it up and modernized it a little bit more, and it goes in and eats a player, which is not a good time in the digestive tract unless you got that good fiber. And then we have another boss fight of this weird, it's like a jade construct dog with like these pylons and this light in the center. It looks really interesting. I also wonder, is this a strike mission? Is this just a boss fight, or is this a meta boss? It seems to be taking place in a lab of sorts. Is it kind of closed off? It might be a strike mission. It might be, I'm trying to count, I'm like, is it 10? It could be a strike mission. If there's more than 10, it might be a boss in the open world. But this looks really cool. It looks nice. It's got some slam attacks, got some nice ground targeted stuff. And then we have the story beat. We got the story beat with Kaith. Okay, this is another thing. Kaith is here. Kaith is here. And one thing that I had mentioned before we knew anything about the story of End of Dragons, people had asked me, what characters would you like to see come with us to End of Dragons? And I said Marjorie, of course. Casimir is, I think, a logical addition. And Taimi is always, I didn't really say Taimi. I think she could have been fine if she wasn't here. However, now that we know about the Jade tech, perfect fit to have Asura. And I also mentioned Kaith. And when they had mentioned that Aurene will be coming with us and is going to be a major player, I was super excited. But I had also wondered, Kaith, I think, has such a strong connection to Aurene that I was disappointed not to hear that Kaith would be popping up. But we actually have confirmation in a trailer that Kaith, at least at some point in the story, does pop up. Unless this is Aurene, and Aurene can transform into a humanoid Kaith. You never really know, but I'm pretty sure that this is Kaith with, of course, Detective Rama in the background. So, awesome confirmation. The one thing is that we haven't actually seen Aurene in this trailer. And Aurene obviously would play a bigger role, but they did mention that Aurene would be one of the major players in this expansion. So I would have actually, it's a little interesting that we didn't see any Aurene, but Granted, we did see Oreen in the release reveal stream, so we got notice of Oreen, and then they pan up to this like rift energy being accumulated in the center. Is this like demon energy? Is this? There's so many colors going on that it's somewhat difficult to see or to get a sense, an educated guess of what this is. But there's jade all over the place. There's destruction. It seems to be like a gravity issue. A singularity might be forming. Maybe there's a black hole. Maybe Tyrion gets hit with a black hole, and we're just like, oh well, rip. But this is actually a really awesome shot to leave off of because there's so much mystery around it, and there is a great sense of gravitas with it as well. But there's a lot of different colors, like where, and it kind of turns blue. Oh, and then of course we have the future of Cantha is now. So many aspects, so many little details of this trailer to really get into, and to possibly like read into a lot more. But I would have to say, this trailer is what I was missing with End of Dragons, and this trailer definitely has me very excited to see more, and especially the lead up. I hope we get some more trailers, maybe a little bit of gameplay snippets here and there, live streams, of course. Hopefully we see a little bit of that as well. And this week, this Friday, we have the live stream for the new Kaining City tour, which I hope we also see a little bit of events there. But everyone, leave your comments down below. How did you feel about this trailer? I thought this was what End of Dragons was kind of missing. Now, has this come too late? Did they miss that? Should this have arrived earlier? That's, I think, an interesting discussion to have as well. But at the end of the day, I'm just happy that we got it. So everyone, leave your comments, like the video if you liked it, comment down below your thoughts, subscribe for more Guild Wars 2 End of Dragon videos. And if you'd like to help support the channel, I have a Patreon down below. And also, if you'd like to pre-order End of Dragons, I have links down below as well. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everyone!